Welcome to Fall Prime Day.
Oh my
you
God.
like you like that? Sorry, I just read Fall Prime Day has been a hit on one of the tickers I had before. just
Wow.
just scared you. All right, well, we're live from east to west. It's not even fully east. Like I'm not all the way east. You're not even all the way west, but it's fine.
Pretty
East to
close.
east to west. Amazon AMA. We are live and we are ready to crush it, people. So first things first. My name is Michael Marr. I own Cartology. We are an Amazon service agency. We help brands grow and get to #1 bestsellers in the category. Brett, introduce yourself.
My name is Brett Bohannon, and yeah, I'm Brett.
All right. So first things first, it's a cool change that occurred. Some people said that. Really cool to see that on the ticker below. Also, Gary,
It's a good
Gary,
one.
another one is Gary Vaynerchuk went on some show. These are all
Oh,
stupid.
nice.
Anyway, let's talk about the fact that Prime Day has not yet been announced. What's the deal with that?
They keep it under wraps so all the other marketplaces don't steal their thunder.
Data mining, 7 dwarves.
That's my theory.
All right, it's 10 years. It's a 10-year anniversary.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So I feel like I think that's a really smart call out on your point that they're keeping it under wraps. They're trying to help people, other retailers take advantage of the sale. Because we've seen over the past, let's say 3 to 5 years, everyone is now doing like a summer sale event that they started.
Yep.
You see that ticker? Brett is doing a horrible job. I'm just kidding. Brett's doing a great job. So we feel like, to be clear, Amazon is intentionally doing this so that people cannot piggyback.
That's what I feel like.
Okay.
I think everyone kind of has. I think last year it was on July 13th. Like,
I think it was 11th. I thought it was 11th and 12th, or was it 12th and 13th?
I don't know. It was right around that time.
Okay.
But it's going to be right around that time again. But as we mentioned last month, it's going to be like Prime Month probably. It's never really a Prime Day. It's 2 days, and then they've got all that kinds of other cool stuff happening. So I don't think it's just going to be a couple-day event. I think it's going to be multi-days.
You think it's going to be more than 2?
Maybe. I don't know. That's just a random thought. I have no data to back that up.
Well, sure. I don't need data. I'm just curious. Do you think it's going to be a week? How long do you think it's going to be? Breaking news. Breaking news.
Breaking news right there. Alarm. Woo, woo.
I don't know if I have any sound effects in here, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's. I mean, for sure it's 2 days, but maybe it'll be 3, 4. We'll see. If it's a 10-year anniversary, maybe they're planning something later.
Welcome to the show. Today we're going to talk about your feelings and Amazon. Yeah, I mean, I think a Prime Week would actually be really intriguing to see. The thing that I feel like is hard to top, and this is something that I've said about TikTok, is once you create an event and once you create something that is exciting, how do you build on that excitement? One of the reasons why I think TikTok is not something that will last, I'm okay to be wrong on that, but I feel like it's already super, super short attention span. If people are not focused, and people are already so focused on 7 seconds, 15 seconds, where do you go from there? Like in a place like Instagram, people are can look at an image, they can kind of sit, they can be a little bit more static. On Amazon, for everyone knows Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and that's even started to grow. But like, how do you up the ante? And that's why I don't think Vine worked. I mean, no one could find a way to monetize it, although Shawn Mendes and there's a comedian who started being more movies that both have been successful from that. But how do you build from that? It's very, very challenging to do. So I think a week.
Vine the review platform?
No, Vine, the social media platform
Oh, got it.
that died. Shawn Mendes was not reviewed on Amazon Vine program that I know of.
Yeah, I mean, the whole Amazon's MO is just to get people, even more people, to shop on their platform. So, commercials, things to draw people to Amazon during the Prime Day event. That's really that's it. I mean, they definitely have a plan to, you know, market it and whatnot. So we'll see if it's interesting, see if it's different than last year. I don't remember what it was last year, um, but yeah.
What kind of lift do you think people are going to see?
Oh man, what was the
I'm just
lift
kidding.
last year?
That's a bad question.
That's a horrible question.
What's the right ACOS is what I meant to say.
Let's see.
25, 100. Let's talk about something else. Prime Day's over. It's done. What is new in the Amazon sphere that you think people need to know about?
Oh wow. I think the hottest topic is like AI stuff.
Yeah.
Has been for a while.
Al.
Al, good old Al.
That's what it looks like.
There's like AI listing builder, AI image generation, all that kind of stuff. I think it's just like everything else. It's great. It's a great tool, but you got to have some, guardrails for it. Like I just helped launch some products, and basically I tested out the like what was it what are you doing here?
I was trying to change the view.
I tested out their listing generator process, like
Okay.
how Amazon sees it, where you put in a photo and then like a little snippet of the product. So I did that with like 7 different listings and did multiple different tries and kind of tests and stuff, and kind of just looked at it. And it was good. It was okay, but they got like a lot wrong. I even used a version where they used some wordage and it caused compliance issues for the listings.
Interesting.
So that was interesting.
Like Amazon itself used.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big problem because they're gonna ride your ass on that all day, every single day. And if they're now the ones that are generating it, I don't think they're gonna have any forgiveness on that.
Yeah. So that's something to always watch out for. I think outside of that, the whole Canva thing to Amazon is pretty cool. I know that's a couple weeks old.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's neat. It's very good for advertising and creative aspects.
Yeah.
I would love to see like you can like put your images like main image 1, left, right, back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever images into Canva and then just upload them automatically to Amazon.
I like that. So like you could almost map it out.
Yeah, that would be really neat. So you have like a size template that Amazon would want, because it sounds like they're doing that for creative assets for advertising. But it'd be cool if they kind of supported that on the other side of like catalog and whatnot.
The Canva thing is cool because it's giving access. It's making Amazon more accessible. What I think is, so someone who maybe doesn't have a design background but wants to design something, now I can do inside of Canva. Whereas like I might have a designer on my team who's designing stuff specifically for sponsor brands or for DSP or something like that. But now, I mean, it's the Search Console, but now someone can create something and upload it Not uploaded. Well, is it upload directly? What is that? What does that actually look like?
No, I don't think that's available yet. I think that's the plan.
Okay,
I
that
know
would make
Jeff.
sense.
I know Jeff Cohen talked about they're doing like a beta thing for templates within Canva, I believe. And George, I don't even know George's last name.
Reed, George Reed.
George Reed, George's blog. He has like a really simplistic one that he's developing. That's like 10 euros or 10 pounds. I don't know whatever. But it's like $12.
Whatever money non-Americans use.
Yeah, so it's like $12.75 right now. I actually bought it yesterday. And there's like 3 easy templates with a quick 13-minute video explaining how to kind of do it. And literally I was like, because I had to create a sponsored brand video for someone, and I saw him post that, so I bought it. You should too. Everyone else should too.
Okay. Where can people buy it at?
I'll find that out in just a sec. But like, because I was like, okay, where do I start for this video? Like, I know Canva's kind of gnarly. It's like a power horse. But so I was like, so it gave me like the confidence to go into Canva and be like, oh, cool, I can create a video. And I created like a version 1, and the client was like, hey, can we try this, and this? And like just did a version 2. And they're like, wow, this is way better. I'm like, it took me like 45 minutes max.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool.
This is for what is it that George's blog was doing? Like what kind of
just like templated, either for sponsored brand videos or just videos on the product detail page. Very basic ones, but I'm sure he'll build out more. But I'll put the link in. I don't know if it's on George's blog. I'll put the link in that he sent me.
Okay. Yeah. If you have it, let's share it with people. I think the thing that's interesting about connecting Canva is it's making Amazon more accessible, but I feel like overall Amazon has actually become less accessible to people.
Well, that's an interesting take.
The average, we've talked about this before, but gone are the days of I'm going to take $500 for the product and turn it into $3,000 and then just order more product like that. It's very challenging to do that and to do it successfully. So I think it's helping the brands that maybe are already on Amazon be a little bit more accessible. Maybe it's helping someone on an Amazon team, at a brand like, hey, we need help creating stuff. We can't afford to hire someone. So let's bring on, let's have someone on our team design something inside of Canva. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's cool that they're more connected, and I like what you said, like uploading directly from there.
Yeah, I just sent you the X post, formerly Twitter.
Okay,
that was his post that he posted. So if anyone wants to comment on it, and then he'll send the link.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean his whole resource library is phenomenal. And
I've seen some of his A+ templates that are really, really solid.
Well, I mean, every time a client asks me for like, hey, do you have any like, resources for our design department? I literally just pull it from there or send them the login. Like it's the fastest, easiest way to like work through, working with like a design team or even doing some design yourself. Like I even built out some designs based on templates of his, like, and I'm not the best design person, but I know what works, but so it's a cool resource.
I think the more that you can, the less you think about, the less you have to think about the formatting, and the more you can think about the creative side, the better off you're probably going to be.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Well, Amazon, it's a marketplace. Forget about it. I don't have anything good to say.
This episode is sponsored by George's blog.
This episode of the From East to West Amazon AMA show is brought to you by George's.blog. Thanks, George Reed. we'll take our check now in the mail, but I want it in USD. I don't want it in any of those stinky pounds.
Yeah, I think we get less.
I think it was recently more.
Oh, really?
But I think
Or
you're right.
maybe
I think it's back down.
I don't know how to do currency exchange.
You just go to Google.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. I thought I got good sleep last night, but I guess I didn't. Here, let's talk about DISP.
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I misread that. DSP.
Oh, go for it.
DISP.
DISP.
How many brands that you interact with regularly use DSP? Like, how common is it?
Not very common.
Okay. I saw a post that Srinath Reddy did, the CEO of IntentWise, that said this past year the lift that Amazon got in the ads, their ads revenue was from DSP.
Yeah, I think I've run some tests with just regular sponsored display, and I'd rather, if anyone was going to run a test on sponsored display, just go DSP and just go long term. That was my, yeah. I've had some horrible. There's good things for sure, but I think if you're going kind of more top of the funnel, I don't think it's the right thing to do.
Okay. I would agree with you, although I think sponsored display is super, super powerful, but it depends upon the context of
Yeah.
using it.
Yeah.
DSP, I think, also can be really powerful and drive a good ROAS. But I'm thinking about either a well-known brand or a brand that's maybe you're focusing on retargeting, and so that can increase your return. I also think what you're measuring on DSP matters. So if you're focusing on awareness, but you're measuring with ROAS, like you probably missed the mark. Like it's a big game strategy. It's a long-term strategy, just like brands run, TV campaigns or OTT or streaming TV, whatever. Brands that are running that, they're thinking about the long game. They're not thinking about the immediate ROAS.
Yeah.
And so they're looking at, hey, this media campaign this year, how did it help our overall sales? Whereas most brands are like, did I get a good ROAS today? That's not the way that you should be looking at it.
Once you have like a certain amount of budget and a certain percentage of that is basically throwaway, sort of say, quote unquote, not necessarily throwaway, but like you're just like, I'm not going to see a return on that. That's where you can plug that budget into.
For the awareness-based stuff on the DSP side.
Yeah, just top of funnel stuff. And DSP works perfectly for top of funnel.
What I love about sponsored display is like a strategy that we have. I'm not going to charge you all that money that George's blog charges you for strategy, for creative. I'm just going to give this away for free. If you want to go after your competitors, you can really, really go after your competitors.
Yeah.
Now, most people I think are looking at keywords. So if my, brand is Huggies and I want to go after Pampers, like, yeah, okay, makes sense. You would want to go after, what did I say? I was Huggies and I was going after Pampers, or the other way around. Okay. So if I'm Huggies, yeah, I could go after, Pampers. But imagine targeting them, not their keywords, but product attribute targeting. Because if someone's looking at a keyword, you might be able to win them over. I would expect your return on ad spend to be a lot lower. But imagine showing up on the product detail page in the sponsored products carousel. Imagine showing up on all those sponsored display spots. There's a lot of inventory that's available there. And that contextual targeting with sponsored display, also knowing that you can run video, like that to me is really powerful. You can run retargeting in there as well. But doing audience-based stuff, I think you just have to reframe what you're doing, because a lot of people in search are thinking about it from a ROAS standpoint.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good call out from what I was talking about.
Same with sponsored products TV. Like I run some campaigns. They weren't super impressive. We were running, started to run stuff streaming TV on the DSP side. So we just went with that. It's fine. Yeah. But it's accessible because now you don't have a minimum.
Yeah. Well, and then there's another layer that you can factor on too for sponsored display and sponsored product targeting is cross-selling too. So you can literally, if you got a product that you want to push or start advertising with an audience that's more middle, bottom of the funnel, just put it on your product detail pages as well. You know, especially if they know your brand and they're like, oh, cool, this is something else from that brand. You
But
know,
what if you also just want to keep other people off your page?
that too.
I think the contextual side. I'm not saying audience doesn't work because it can,
It can.
but you just have to think about how you're framing stuff. But like contextual stuff is really great. So if I want to go after my competitor, I'm showing up in sponsored products, product attribute targeting. I'm showing up in sponsored display contextual. But the reality is there's so much more there, and I think people are afraid to test because it's not keywords.
Yeah, and the audience, if you, I forget if you're doing specific targeting. I think it's if you're doing views remarketing or something, and you do a tailored audience, Amazon will add on other audiences too. So you have to be aware of that. Like you're like, I didn't choose that audience, and all of a sudden it shows up in your targeting.
Yeah, you have to be. I think the value of ads and where it really actually helps you is when you are being more precise. There's a piece of discovery that's in there. You should be using
Secret sauce right there.
but you have to be segmented. Like when I go in and audit an account and I'm like, okay, you got a $20 a day budget and you've got 160 targets inside of your campaign. What's the point of this?
Yeah. Well, and then there's another layer too. Another strategy that I actually just talked to a brand with about is even if you want to go, so you can use this across all kinds of different targeting types, but if you're looking at just keywords in general or search terms, exact match keywords, you can look at more, going wide rather than deep. But then if you go wide, where are you directing them to? So if it's like, let's just say it's just, I don't know, I'm looking at water bottle, the water bottles could be plastic water bottles, insulated water bottles, etc. So maybe you're, let's just say Camelback, has some water bottles, and you're going after a water bottle, and you're just showing all kinds of different water bottles. You don't know what the purchase intent is for that person searching water bottles. So maybe direct them to your a landing page, so to say, in your storefront. That's all the different cool water bottles. So people are like, cool, I searched for water bottles. Look at all these different cool water bottles by Camelback, That's another play. That's more, kind of top middle of funnel if you're looking at the marketing funnel, but it's a good strategy to test and have that you can try out.
I've never seen it be the case where you are running multiple ad types and it doesn't improve conversion rate. So like you want to take sponsored products and run DSP alongside of it. You can hit that same audience. And there are ways that you can find to target stuff, but you're going to increase your conversion rate. So that's another thing to look at. And that's honestly one of the advantages of using Amazon Marketing Cloud. Is this actually helping me? And then, beyond that, starting to create custom audiences based on the data that you've seen. But I think that's only something I think there's some ways that you could get custom stuff done through a tech provider, but you don't get access to that without DSP.
Yeah.
And so even if I think it would be wise for brands. I mean, you have to do it through an agency or you have to do it through Amazon. I would say go through an agency. Agency is going to do it better than Amazon is. Amazon, to take your money, like, okay, it's it. What are you're going to pay more anyway. Amazon's costs are much higher for you as a brand versus going through an agency. Based on how stuff's getting baked into CPM, but even their cost to you to run that stuff is more expensive. So you're probably better off running through an agency. They're more skilled. They're gonna have to be more accountable because you fire Amazon from something. It's like, great, we'll get someone else. They're such a big player. But I would recommend even just running a little bit. Not every brand needs it for sure. And when you get to a certain point, if you're like, man, we really want to go out and be aggressive, you should be utilizing it. If you're like, hey, I'm just kind of starting out, I want to build, layers of stuff like DSP. Don't go with DSP. It's not the right thing for you. It's not the right time for you. But layer it in and start getting access and then explore AMC. Like it's still being developed. It's not done being developed. And I think the more data you have access to and can actually utilize, the better off you're going to be. Like search query performance report, 3 years ago wasn't even, I don't think I'm bad with time, but it wasn't even a thing. But now I can look and say, okay, we decreased some of our spend on some of our sponsored products ranking campaigns. And I see that we're still showing up high organically. Well, when I go look at search query performance report, are we top click and converted? If not, let's turn ads back up and see if we show up in that spot, because it can be paid or organic. But I just think the more data that you have access to, which Amazon gives you a ton, I think it's focusing on that piece and then saying, how do we leverage this instead of going on and taking on all the data. So like if you can get access to Amazon Marketing Cloud, do it and say, hey, what are the things that are working? Work with whomever to help you better understand the reports. If it's an agency, if it's a tech provider, like lean into them. That's what they're there for. That's what you pay them for. Better understand what's going on, and then take the advice based on what you're saying needs to be done.
Yep. Cool.
Is it?
Very cool. Covered a lot.
Where should we end today? What do you want to end with?
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday. Haha, sucker. Showtime. That's what this format's called. Showtime. All right. Well, I think we did it, man. We solved all life's problems, all life puzzles, and we're going to listen to, I think, just some R&B on the way out.
Sweet. Playlist.
We could listen to Epic. R&B, baby. All right. This has been another episode of From East to West, where we answer all your questions and we don't bore you. That's it. You don't have to go home, but you got to get the hell up out.